Welcome back. I am at round 7 of the Mountain State Hare Scramble. Obviously, I'm racing a quad today. We are at Brewston Mills, West Virginia, at Wolf Rock Farm. It's going to be a mudder. It rained most of the night before the race. The youth has already been out on the track. I've got some new rubbers and I'm ready to go out and hit it hard. Wait, that didn't sound right. I got some new tires and I'm going to hit the track. I didn't make it in time to see the micros out on the track, but I did see the results. It looks like they had a blast out ripping up the track in the muddy conditions. I was able to come over to the start, say hey to some of them, and I did actually get all the youth start before I had to get back and get ready for the adult race. Let's check them out. This last row was all the young ladies hitting the track. It's so good to see them come out here and playing in the mud. Now let's get to the main event, the quad adult race. Did it pop?
It popped.
Yes, after a few years, I finally got some new tires on the old girl. I couldn't have picked a better race to break them out. I am on, I believe, row 4. Maybe row 5. I am running the 40 AB. It's a mixed row. That will be the 40 AB and the 30 AB. I will get you a full first lap. The old LTR 450 I think is getting due for some valve adjustments, and it's been firing up a little slow, and today is no exception. Bad gate pick, that's my bad. Too lazy, too busy to get on over to the line. Thought I was going to be able to go around the outside, but then they came back around me on turn 2. Looks like I got some work ahead of me. I believe there was 8 or 9 in my class today. I'll be popping you a tear off here soon. This is the little mud section right off the start. Pop you off a tear off, and now it's time to get down to business and see what I can do in the 40 AB class today. I'm kind of bad about just filling the four-wheeler out. I've raced four-wheelers off and on throughout the last few years, mostly a bike guy. I officially went to the doctor's appointment and definitely getting my knee fixed here in the next month. But until then, I'll be racing the old quad. But I'm actually starting to grow to like this old girl. Starting to get a few aftermarket parts on it, as far as shocks and some other cool little gadgets, making it actually kind of fun to ride. Actually, we're coming down a long straightaway. I'm usually a little hesitant the first time through here. I should have came over here and biked it, but I didn't. I was busy getting the video for the bike race. Make sure you check that out if you haven't seen it yet. There's some crazy stuff going on the hill climbs during the bike race. But on those fast sections, not 100% confident in the four-wheeler yet, or knowing what it's going to do as far as kicking on some braking bumps and stuff. But I'm really starting to get some confidence in it. Actually, this race was a lot of turns, switchbacks. On a bike, I really don't like a lot of switchbacks, but on a quad, it was a blast. I got a couple guys up ahead of me that I would like to get around, but obviously there's not a lot of area here to pull over or get around somebody, and I'm not sure if they're in my class or not, so giving them time to fill out the track, fill out their machine, is basically what I'm doing till I find a decent spot to try to get around them. Here I saw a line to the right, but didn't realize I could fit through there, so I wasn't going to take a chance. Probably could have got around both of them there, I believe. I believe Richie was saying the property was kind of divided in two different sections. This is the more muddy, faster, with like logging roads, kind of a faster section, and then as you come into the property, on that side of the property is going to be more technical and off-camber, slower type of racing. On this quad, I prefer the quicker, faster stuff. I'm just starting to learn really how to get fast on this thing. For the last couple years, when I did race it as stock, you could only go through this rough stuff so fast, and every time I come out I get a little more confidence. That is why I usually go slow through a creek or a water section on this quad, because they will get you soaked. Last minute decision, talking to Zach about the track conditions. I thought it was just going to be kind of tacky. I wasn't going to wear these hand guards. Your hands get muddy, and they quite often do on these quads. There I found an opportunity to get around one guy. I don't think he's in my class, but I do believe this guy here is actually in my class. But when you're on a juicy section, which Zach said this side was pretty wet, water running down the track, your gloves can get pretty soaked pretty quick, and that makes holding on, and I got a twist throttle, so definitely need to keep my hands as dry as possible. I hate dealing with these hand guards, but I actually put full bark busters on. I did just have the flags, and I wouldn't recommend that as far as a four-wheeler and trying to use these hand guards, because they get too floppy and they become a bigger pain than what they're worth, because the mud gets on them, gets so heavy, you can't get your hands back in them. This young man lets me around. I appreciate that.
Thank you!
Now it's time. I mean, I was getting a little frustrated, not as much for them, but just getting mud. It's tough to get close to somebody on these things to take advantage of when they mess up or whatever, because they're just spraying so much mud. So I held back a little bit, and now it's time to go. First time across the field, not really for sure what to expect. Getting the camera, get my goggles cleaned off. Now this was one of the most fun sections for me, at least, on the ATV. You can flat track it around these turns. I have no idea what position I'm in right now. I know I didn't do too good off the start. I really made 2 passes. Here came in a little too hot. Looks like I'm not the only one. Have to remember that for lap 2. Now we're dropping back down into the woods. saying earlier, make sure you check out the bike race. I put that out, I believe, yesterday. Not sure if I'm going to get this loaded and out today. It is Thursday the 11th. I'm going to try to get it out tonight. If not, it'll be 12th tomorrow, Friday evening. Check out the bikes, have the youth and the adults. It's worth watching. I raced this race last year on a bike. We ran it. It was dusty, hot, and running the other direction. Every once in a while, I would get on a section that I kind of remembered, especially coming into like the last mile before the finish. But a lot of this stuff, I don't remember any of it. So I don't know for sure if I just forgot or if Richie cleaned out some new trail. Not sure where he was coming up from. Must have missed the turn. If this is the first time you've watched one of our videos, we are Trail Seeker Adventures. We bring the camera to just about every event we go to, whether it's a squeeze through here, whether it's a race event or a ride park. We just recently, Heidi and I, did a video for Rock Run up in Pennsylvania. If you're looking for a ride park to take your ATV or motorcycle, check it out. That's Rock Run up in Pennsylvania. It's just one of many ride parks that we've been to. We've been to Croom Motorcycle Park in Florida, Hatfield McCoy Trails, a few different locations. We've been to the indoor motocross arena up in Butler, Pennsylvania. Make sure you go to our site on the YouTube, look up Trail Seeker Adventures. You can go to different categories. We have mountain biking, hiking, or ride park. This is a race event. We are at round 7, Mountain State Hare Scramble. Day 2, Mountain State Hare Scramble was a 2-day event. On Saturday, at least this year, they're racing bikes. On Sunday, they're racing quads. And that's where I'm at today. Now we're coming up through here and I see some ribbon laying down. I'm like, what? So I'm thinking, I don't know. That ribbon's there for a reason. So I'll come back and head back down here, hoping to see some arrows. So I think, okay, I must be going in the right direction. Wasn't 100% sure where that went and how many people went the wrong way, but I was talking to some of the guys that went that way and they said it didn't go anywhere. So hopefully nobody went the wrong way. But whenever you come up to something like that, you're like, wait a minute, where do I go? You don't want to go the wrong way because then you're going to get disqualified. But the ribbon laying in the mud is what gave me the idea that I was going the wrong way. Or I may not have even seen it, the left. I was kind of like looking to the right here to see where it would have came back on to the track, but I never did see, so most likely it didn't. It just went up there and turned around. This field had a couple water breaks in it that was not real fun. Right there. And right there. I'm sure the fast guys hits it fast. I hit it slow. I want to tell y'all that I had a question about how to turn idle up on this thing, and I had some guys reach out to me and I got it to turn up and it's so much better. 100% appreciate everybody that comes up and talks to me at my pits or out in the woods. videos for you all so you can find a place to come out and race, or a track to go out and practice on. And I love hearing that you all watch the channel, appreciate the channel. That's what keeps me doing it. I definitely hate the computer part of it. As long as you're still getting use out of it, I'll keep on doing it. Now this is a long uphill, which was pretty fun at the beginning, but then it comes into this little rocky section, and I'm thinking, ah, crap, I forgot about the rocks. I probably should have put a little more air in these tires. I went a little low on the pressure just because of the mud. Last year I really didn't remember it being that rocky. That's definitely going to be an issue by the end of my race. Basically at the end of the first lap, the last half mile, I felt so slow. I'm kind of slow anyways on the off camber with this thing. I'm slowly starting to figure it out a little bit, but definitely on the off camber sections I feel maybe I'm sure I'm slow, and downhill I'm slow. But I thought I had a flat tire for like a half lap coming in the finish, then I got going. Like, nope, it's fine. False alarm. Looks like some people's already having some issues.
Ribbons down back there.
Trying to exact know that there's some ribbon down. I'm pretty sure he didn't hear a word I said as I came by mumbling. For a quad, this layout was pretty good. I can see how on a bike some of the slower off-camber sections might have been a little tough, seeing how it's dry and slimy. I was actually having a blast out here on the quad.
Yo! Thank you, buddy.
The worst thing is trying to find a way around some of the people. I don't like yelling, especially if I'm not sure if they're in my class or not, but most of the time when they hear you back here, and I try to do the same, I actually let somebody in my own class back around me thinking it was somebody else. But that's just part of the game. I don't want to be in nobody's way. I appreciate it when they do it for me, so I try to return the favor. Now we're coming back in close to the pit area. This is where I took some video yesterday on the bikes, and looks like Richie came over and cleaned out a couple lines on the bikes that got pretty rooty through there. You can see it's pretty much single line for a quad. And the way this mud is, it's not bad at all, as long as you stayed in the ruts. But as soon as you got out of the ruts and you could get center hung, or you can get stuck to where you couldn't get back out on the track. So really don't expect people to mess their own race up trying to get out of my way, at least. There's a stump right there that kind of caught me off guard. Mr. Masters came by, and seeing how he's a pro quad rider, I was telling him that one of the problems I am having, the front feels awesome on this thing as far as I'm aware of. But the rear, where I'm having problems, are like through whoops. Like the last race at Drafton, it had several sections that has like one whoop after another. It beats me up pretty good, at least I think it does. And he pushed up and down. He said, it seems a little slow. You need to speed that up a little bit, probably. And I had that in the back of my mind as I'm out here. And I think he's right. I'd be coming across a section, if it had one big dip, it wouldn't really be no problem at all. I was able to hit that, it absorb it, and I just move right along. But I think what it is, it's coming back up a little too slow and packing a little bit before the next dip or hole or tree or whatever I hit. I'm gonna try to go out and get some practice. The only thing is, on this Fox Shock, they do not make the rebound very easy to get to, so that's going to be my next objective, is to try to get this rear shock to feel a little better. But the front feels awesome, especially through these rocks, little rock sections. Appreciate. This is a little more tight section. We're back, I think we're actually above the parking lot now. The bus that he said we go around. This was a pretty fun section through here too. It wasn't too bad. There's one section in here, it's definitely starting to wear my shoulders and arms a little bit. On the quad, that seems to be what I need to get in a little better shape, is the shoulders and the arms. And the bad thing with my bad knee is I can only either stand straight all the way up or set all the way down. I can't bend my knees where I need to be able not to beat my butt so bad. So by the end of the day, my booty's pretty sore. There's one spot coming through here. I really didn't have no scary moments other than one. I think this might be it right here. Yep. Just about plugged that tree. I could see where somebody else already plugged it. Believe me, the next lap when I came around there, I was definitely looking for that tree. I was glad that I even said it on the video there. Thanks to Elkins Motorsports for some fresh rubber put on this thing. I think most likely I would have hit that tree if I didn't have the new tires on there. Starting to catch a few people. To be honest with you, now that I look back at it, I never paid attention whether or not trying to look at their helmet stickers to see if they were in my class or not. I've passed a few people, but it's kind of weird now thinking back about it. I never looked at one helmet to try to figure out whether they were in my class. I guess it really doesn't matter. You just got to go as fast as you can, get to the finish. And the Mountain State Hare Scramble has a pretty cool scanner with a display that shows you what position you're in, how far behind you are, and I didn't even realize it until this weekend. It also tells you how long you've been running. Not that they want you to sit there and read all that, but one thing I did learn, you do got to sit there just for a second for your number to come up. The two main things I look for is obviously the position I'm in, and then the last race I started looking to see, there I almost got center hung to see how far back I was. I'm going to go ahead, since I'm not able to get the entire race, there's a hotline to the right there. Some young man was pointing that out to me. Maybe the next lap, I'm not sure, but somebody, one of the young men was up there pointing it out to me and helped me find it. But first lap came around 4th in my class. I think I was like a minute behind, or no, I was not too far behind 3rd. Caught 3rd, caught 2nd. I was 2nd on the 2nd lap. As we're coming to the hill climb. If you watch the bike video, this is where most of the action came from, in this hill climb right here. Probably not as much action going on with the ATV. If you guys were sitting there watching it and you're watching this video, let me know whether the ATV was as exciting to watch as the bikes. But on the 2nd lap, I came around 2nd. I was coming down this hill right here on the 2nd lap, and there's a rock right in here. One of those 2 rocks right there. I seen it. I even slowed down for it. I even said something about it. I have it on this video. It's on the next lap. But I'm like, oh, that thing's trying to poke a hole in my tire. Well, it did. So the last 2 laps, I hated this section through here for some reason. Right here, no, here. I thought I had a flat tire. I'm like, what? Do I got a flat tire already? And earlier I was telling you about that. This is like the last half mile. Thought for sure I had a flat tire. Stall it. Doesn't want to start. That's another thing I need to do. Check the valves. It's been some time since I checked the valve, or the valves on this thing. But I come through there, coming through here, and I'm like, man, I'm so slow through here. Why do I can't do this. This is the section that I felt the worst on. Got through the start, and 3rd place caught me. And I'm coming through there, and I'm riding like a goon. I do not know why. I let him go around me, and then I find out. I have a left flat tire, left rear. So the last 2 laps, I did have a spare tire at my pits, but I've not used it for like 2 years. I pumped it up. I thought I'll go back here and change that thing. It's probably just as flat as this thing. I do have some Walmart toy balls in it to help get me around, and I'm thinking, well, if they hold up, I'll just ride it to the finish. I looked at my times. It looks like maybe I slowed down close to a minute. That's not too bad with having a flat tire the last 2 laps. 3rd place did pass me on the lap 2. And then it looked like he ran into some trouble. I think he got stuck behind somebody. I got around him, and I didn't see him again, but I spoke to him after the race, and come to find out he broke down on the last lap anyways. This is where my quad felt the worst, coming through there. It's just little humps. So I'm definitely going to need to speed that rebound up and get out there and test it a little bit. If I can get that cleaned up a little bit in those type of sections, I'm going to be 100% ready for something else to break on this thing. I will be getting you a full first lap, and then if I've seen some quads setting along the track, or if I pass you or you pass me or whatever, and then I'll put that in the video. But I basically only got about a lap and a half This is like the last half of the lap. I believe it was 6 or 7 miles. But this is the last half mile. This was my slowest section, or at least I felt the slowest.
Oh, boys.
When I watch these videos back, I see, holy moly, why are you not on the gas there? Why are you not on the gas there? I definitely see areas where I can go faster. Some areas, like especially on the off cambers and stuff, especially on a rocky day, I'm going slow just to protect the tires. That is my number one fear. Well, it's not my number one fear, but it's one of my main fears on these quads is a flat tire. Sliding sideways in a turn, you can get a hole in the sidewall in no time at all. So I come in, I look up, give it a second, show I'm fourth, I look back. No, I look back at the next lap. That's right. So this is that line that I was telling you I should have took past those two guys on the first lap. As you can see, there's already several quads setting along the track. That is the number one thing you got to overcome as a quad racer, is you got to get your machine fixed, prepared to make the whole race. This young man was nice enough to let me around. That guy sat there the entire race. This hill climb, this is one of the great things about a quad versus a bike. Come ripping up through there, you do not have to worry about none of those rocks. You just hammer down. Okay, this is third. I think he was having problems with his quad. Got around him. That was the guy that was sitting right beside me on the start.
That was third.
Go slow through the creek so you don't get all muddy. Versus on a bike, I would have just gassed it and got the front wheel up. This was a pretty fun section on the quad. Doing some flat tracking. Coming up here where we all, probably everybody, went past the exit. Somebody else coming down from the wrong direction. This is that long uphill that ends up in a little rock bar. Pretty fun little section on a quad. Might not have been on a bike. Sections like that is where I'm kind of cautious because I don't want to slide into a rock, but I'm definitely giving up time in those type of areas. And here I went to the right the first lap. That I was going to, I couldn't make it, so I thought I almost go over the bars right there. I'm not sure how the guy in front of me made it look so easy. Somebody else that sat there most of the day. And now I'm catching John. I see him down there and I'm like, wait a minute, John? And he's in my class right there. He is directly ahead of me. I think Everybody probably knows John Leeson. Super cool guy. He's at the track so you can buy the things that you forgot at home in the garage or break on the track from Leeson's. Looks like he's having a pretty good first lap. There's one of the gentlemen in our class on the old two-stroke 250. Coming up to a section where it split, where I was hoping he would stay to the right because I knew the left was quicker. He went to the right, whether he knew I was coming or not, but I was able to get around him pretty easily. It's kind of cool to have two. I know they didn't have that there for the bikes, but having that option to go two different ways. Now this rock kicked me up pretty crazy hard on the skid plates. I actually broke my skid plate in this race. I'm surprised how well the camera stayed clean. For as muddy as it was. I believe I followed this young man for, I don't know, half a lap. He's keeping a pretty decent pace. Coming to the hill climb again. This is the last time I'll hit the main hill climb. After I got the flat, I went around the right side because I had a left side flat. I wasn't sure how well it would work with a flat tire going up the hill, so the left hand turn seemed better with a flat. And it was actually a little tougher than I thought over there with the roots. Coming down the hill here, this is where I believe I got my flat. Somewhere right in here, there's a rock sticking out. Right there, I believe. Right there. Let me know if you guys watching, if you raced, if you know the rock or if it gave you a flat. Coming down into the finish, I am now second. I look back, I see, I believe, third. And now I have a flat tire, but I'm not aware of it. I'm not sure what my issue is. I just feel kind of out of control. I come over here to the right to give the guy the left lane. Thought he'd go buzzing by me. These four-wheelers, sometimes you think they're right on you, but they're back a little way sometimes because they're so noisy. I know my quad's starting to get on my nerves a little bit. I think it might need repacked.
To go.
Poor guy's still sitting there. I know how he feels. I've been there. Not a whole lot to do. It's not really all that fun to watch. You would think it would be. I look back. I'm not sure if this guy's in my class or not, but I got room here. I'm gonna get out of his way. He goes ripping by. Somebody else is back there, and oh crap! There goes third. Now I'm third. He's second. Don't 100% hate it, At least I know where he's at. Take my time through the water hole so I don't get all muddy. I do anyways. But basically, he goes up here. He gets stuck behind a guy over to the right, as you can see. This is about the last time I clean my camera before it gets dead. But I ended up 2nd and 15th overall. Not too bad for an old man. Hey, make sure you like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.